Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Is It Pastable, the show where I take unconventional ingredients and try to turn them into fresh pasta. And then I teach you a quick and easy sauce recipe that you can make at home using regular pasta and real ingredients. And today, I think this may be the weirdest pasta yet. I'm going to try to make pickle pasta. Yes, dill pickle pasta. Will it work? I don't know. Will it taste good? We'll find out. You smell good. I love dill pickles. I love all pickles. Bread and butter, dill, half sour, add in a little bit of pickle juice, and I'm gonna add in 2 eggs. Pickles and eggs, everyone's favorite combination, right? I know that sounds kind of awful, but eggs are a great ingredient in fresh pasta. They really give it its shape, they hold it together. All right, looking nice and creamy. This could be the start of another type of show where now I dare someone to drink this, but I will not be doing that. Oh God. All right, nice and frothy, pale yellowish green, you see the specks in there. Fresh pasta is made out of flour and eggs and pickles in this case. So I'm gonna bring out my food processor, I'm gonna do the whole thing in the food processor. It's really quick and easy. I'm gonna add in a bunch of flour here and I'm gonna wing it a little. Always adjust if we need to. Pasta making is very forgiving. If your dough is too wet, add a little bit more flour. If it's too dry, add some water. Oh God, how much of this should we add? It's so frothy. Okay. So it's not mixing together too well. I don't know if that's because of the pickles. Usually when you add flour and a liquid, you can pretty much get a dough. And the eggs will give it a little bit more consistency, but this is not there yet. I'm gonna add some more pickle juice. I guess liquefied pickles, I should call them. Liquefied pickles and eggs. All right, I think we got it. It smells so bad. I mean, I do like the smell of pickles. It's a very strong pickle scent, but it's got the eggs in there too. This may be the first one I eat that I'm not sure about. When you make fresh pasta in a food processor, you kind of break stuff into little pieces. You just need to knead that all into one ball of dough. If it's still feeling a little too wet, you can add a little more flour. I love that you can see the speckles of pickle rind in here. All right, this is looking good. I would say so far, this dough is feeling perfect. Pickles, hey, mostly water and vinegar, so a lot easier than adding something like Doritos where you have to grind it up into a flour, or a Happy Meal hamburger where you have to grind it up into a flour. So I may give this one the highest marks for dough. I'm not predicting taste is gonna be high on the list. And now normally you let the dough rest for half an hour to an hour, but I think we can move on to the next stage since this dough is looking so good. Pasta dough dries out very quickly though, so you have to cover it. Let me cover this. I'm gonna get my pasta maker and we'll see if we can turn this into noodles. So this is my trusty pasta maker. Now you do not need a pasta maker to make fresh pasta. You could take your dough and roll it out with a rolling pin until it's nice and thin and then cut it into your noodles. But this definitely will help the process go faster. I'm gonna take a chunk of this. We don't need the whole thing at once. And see if I can roll it out. And when you're using unconventional ingredients like pickles or Happy Meal or gummy worms, you never quite know the consistency of the dough will be like or how it's gonna roll out. So having a pasta maker really helps the process when you're using these weird things. It's tearing a little bit too. It might be a little too wet. I'm gonna sprinkle on some flour. I thought the consistency would be perfect. It's a little rough, but so far we've made everything else work. This, I feel like we can get there. Keep rolling it out, it's gonna get thinner and thinner and longer. Beautiful. Hey, this is actually really nice. It's got a beautiful speckled pattern. Sometimes people make fresh pasta with cracked pepper in it. They'll put pepper inside, it gives it a nice little speckle. Who knew you could get that same effect with pickles? Nice light aroma of pickle juice. A nice, very pale green color. All right, this is honestly very beautiful dough. If it didn't smell like pickles, I don't know, maybe I would serve this somewhere, but we have our beautiful dough, so I'm gonna switch the attachment here into this fettuccine cutter. Here we go, let's try it. Sometimes when I'm doing this, I think back to my old life. So I used to be a lawyer before I became a pasta chef and content creator. I was a lawyer going to court every day. I was fighting for my clients. I used to be a housing lawyer, so I was fighting for tenants who were being evicted. And now I'm seeing if I can turn pickles into pasta. It's quite a life change. I don't know if it's like what am I doing with my life change, or a wow, look what I'm doing with my life change, but it's definitely different. Beautiful. All right, this works. So far, pickle pasta is the easiest. You can all make it at home. Yeah, they're sticking a little. maybe I spoke too soon. They're sticking a little. So sometimes when they stick together, when you cook them, they all like turn into a blob. And I really, I do not want to bite into a big blob of pickle dough. That does not sound pleasant. So I'm gonna try to separate these a little. And when you roll them in flour or sprinkle flour on them, that helps keep them from sticking. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add my noodles here. And while those are cooking, we'll get ready for the pesto. Basil pesto, it's a great dish in the summer to start with, where you're gonna take 2 cloves of garlic and add them to a skillet over medium heat. And this is gonna be weird, but you leave the skins on. This will help the garlic cloves get a little nice and toasty, but the skins will protect them from burning. Then you're also gonna use 2 tablespoons of pine nuts. So pine nuts is traditionally put in pesto. Pine nuts are a little expensive, so if you don't have pine nuts, you can use walnuts. I'm actually using almonds right now. You want the pine nuts, whatever nuts you're using, to get a little nice and toasty, but you don't want them to burn. So we're talking a minute, maybe 2. Once those start to get toasty, remove them from the heat. When the garlic is cool enough, then you peel it. I'm using some basil I picked from my garden here. It's nice and fresh. I love the smell of basil. You want to get about 2 cups of basil. I love growing basil. If you have any outdoor space, basil is an easy one to grow. It just sprouts up. Start with a tablespoon of lemon juice, a pinch of salt, and then you're gonna add the nuts as well, and the garlic. You don't want to over process it, so kind of pulse it a little bit for maybe 10 seconds until it's kind of all chopped up. Then you want to use about half a cup of olive oil. Use the best olive oil you have if you're really going to taste it in this. And you're going to add it just a little bit at a time and really drizzle it in while the machine is running to really incorporate it. So we're trying to sort of imitate that constant pounding with a mortar and pestle. That is the traditional way of making pesto, and it does make it nice and creamy, but I'm gonna do it in a food processor because that's faster. Beautiful. So it's getting really creamy, really liquidy. Oh, it smells so good. And you want to add about half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. If you really want to up your pesto game, you can use a mix of Pecorino Romano and Parmesan cheese. They have slightly different flavors. Oh, I love pesto. It's cooking very nicely. Warm pickle. Everyone's favorite scent. All right, here's a little pesto trick. After you have all your pasta all cooked, add a tablespoon or so of butter right on top. It'll melt in, make the dish really creamy. Traditionally, pesto Genovese, I don't know how you pronounce it, is traditionally served with potatoes and green beans. It's a Ligurian dish. Briefly in the movie Luca a couple years ago. Add in my pesto. Sometimes I will, while I'm cooking the pasta, I will boil the potatoes right in with the pasta. It actually makes the dish really extra creamy. Like the potatoes break down a little bit, everything comes together perfectly. It looks great. I mean, the pickle pasta just looks like regular pasta. Like, honestly, you can't even really see the speckles anymore because the pesto is so speckly. Here we go, the moment of truth. I mean, it looks great, it cooked great. Yeah, the pesto kind of overrides the pickle smell. My stomach is turning a little bit. It looks so beautiful though, it looks so good. This is gourmet, you could have this at a restaurant. Oh my God, beautiful. Perfect bowl of pesto. You just taste the sauce. The pesto is so good. The aftertaste, you taste pickle. That is a little strange. Let me try again. I'm gonna try again though. First bite though, like the first second, is so good, this pesto. It's a strange sensation because it kind of gets worse the more you chew it. Because it starts out so good when you just taste the sauce, and then by the end you taste pickle. I mean, I'm still eating it. So far we're 5 for 5 and actually edible. The pesto is so good. The pickle pasta is pickle pasta, but I like it. I like it. I like it. Success. Here we go. Pickle pasta. Is it possible? Yes. Pesto, perfect summer dish. I would say this is a success. Thank you for joining me on Is It Possible? This is episode 5. You can catch all the episodes by subscribing to our channel and finding out what crazy unconventional ingredient will I try to turn into pasta.